Hi everybody, sanibonani. Welcome to my channel. Igama lami nguNtando Mdletshe, and on this channel siyakhuluma ngama reality shows ethu, and today finally we have a reunion. Siyafina ke futhi sikhulume ngama celebrities kanye nama YouTubers ethu ala emzansi. You know I am laughing because I really don't feel like putting on a lipstick, and I only put on a lipstick for only one purpose, because I get those things here. You know, any lipstick helps me with that. Otherwise, I don't like wearing lipstick. So today I'm like, I don't feel like doing it. So, okay, you guys, you know, when I start getting it needs Ntando. Anyway, you guys, listen. If you're joining us for the first time, we have fun in this family. So if you are sure that you want to be part of this family, do not forget to press the subscribe button and a notification bell. If you've been around and you want to be a special member, honorary member of parliament, okay, there's a join button below. Please support the channel by liking the video and watching adverts on this video. And if you broke, there's a thanks button. You can thank us below. Anyway, you guys, finally we get the reunion. Okay, I was so happy to come back here and be like, the host was horrible. They didn't ask the right questions. You know, I was ready. I had notes and everything. But you guys, listen, this is the best reunion we have had in Africa yet. Okay? This is the best reunion we have had in Africa yet. This was the best host we have had in Africa yet. I don't know if it's the best we could ever get, but this is the best that we have had so far. I'm very happy with part one of the reunion, you guys. And it's hard to criticize part one based on the fact that some of the questions were not asked, because obviously we are still going to get part two, you know, and that is the pressure with part two, is that everything that you don't get in part one, you expect that you're going to get in part two. So a lot of the times you get that part two can be very disappointing, because the things that you don't get in part one, if they're not in part two, you don't have a part three, you know. But this was a very nicely done part one of the reunion, guys. Right at the beginning, you get the ladies arriving. Guys, listen, I have to go on their Instagram to just see their dresses, because obviously when you watch from the show, you don't really see everything when it comes to the dresses. But overall, I think everybody looked nice. Okay, there was no hideous dress there that I can talk about. Shame, even I was like, she was planning to fly out of the reunion when when they're asking her my questions, guys. But Sorisha, hey, you know what? I like it when a woman just says, listen, age is just a number, okay? Age is just a number, you know. I'm just going to leave very little to the imagination, something that I can never do, okay? And this is what Sorisha did, because her outfits, yay, impahla Uncle Vivian, guys, besi bona live, see face to face. We could see Vivian's Uncle Viv's properties displayed. I am like, Sorisha. Sorisha was brave with that outfit, you guys. Obviously, me being me, I like the back of the outfits and the tail, everything. I liked how it was done. But the front, I was like, yo, hi, Sorisha. Hey, Sorisha. Guys, we could see all the way in there. I'm like, Yane. But except for the fact that it's not a dress that I would try, you know, on, but she has a body for it, you guys. You know, she's skinny enough to be like, okay, she could do that. But I was like, yo, hi, was it what can be some properties got Uncle Vivian? Is impasha got Uncle Vivian? We're all out. On that dress. Overall, you guys, everybody looked nice. The host looked nice, you guys. But I think it's a generation thing, or it's an age thing with me, where I just feel like I long for men to go back to wearing suits with like formal shoes, like just nice formal shoes. Like I just miss that. This thing of suits with amatego, guys, I'm just over it. It was cute, you know, at the beginning. Oh, there's something different, you know. Now they're just doing it too much, you know. I just feel like, man, you know, that's why I say it's an age thing, guys. Remember, you know. Put me in my in the right group because I am approaching the fifth floor, you know. So things like that. So I kind of feel like that when I see guys wearing suits and sneakers, and I'm like, I just miss a guy with, you know, a nice fitted suit but with nice shoes. So, you know, with formal shoes. So that's all I could say about the host. But he really looked nice, you guys. He came ready, okay? He came ready. Listen, I feel like my player is really doing a good job with the reunion. I think that he did watch the show. Not only did he watch season 3, I think he went back and watched season 1 and 2, because of course there are storylines where you have to connect the storyline for you to be able to ask the right question. So I'm like, Upuma back, because I just want to shake his hand. Okay, I'm like, bruh, where have you been? Because we have been looking for you. All right, I wouldn't mind, you guys. I can't say that Umaple is the best that we can ever get for the reunion, but I really wouldn't mind if they don't change him, because we know what the change has done for us in the past. So I'm like, if they want to keep him for, you know, the rest of the seasons that we're going to have for Durban, even if they also give him the other franchises as well, I don't mind. I really feel like he did a good job. I think the only thing that I could just criticize, just because of course I'm reviewing the show, I have to. If I had to, at the beginning of the reunion, this part of the reunion, in the beginning, you know, when they do the Twitter thing, when they asked questions that are asked on Twitter, I kind of felt like in the beginning, maybe it was because I was anxious about, you know, finding out if he was going to be good. But in the beginning, I did feel like, okay, it feels like Twitter is hosting the reunion. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, they were doing too much of the Twitter questions. And it's hard to blame it on the host, because also you do have people that, you know, obviously directed him on how to direct the reunion. So I felt like they were asking too much of those questions. So it felt like, okay, is the host Umaple or is the host Twitter? You know? So right at the beginning. So, but afterwards, you guys, I warmed up and I was like, this is this was the right person. So whoever made that decision with my player really made it the right decision. I liked him. But I obviously want to hear from you guys. If you guys liked my player for this part of the reunion, do you feel like he did anything that you could criticize? What did you love about him, you guys? But so all of the ladies were looking good. Listen, you guys, this is the thing that surprised me. Maria's lips, what happened? Did she take the advice, Jojo's advice, and pop them? Because they looked not so big. You know, they didn't, you guys. They looked a little bit normal. And I was like, what? Did she take out some of the fillers? Can you take them out? I want to put them in. But yes, they looked smaller. You know, her lips looked smaller. And I like that. She was looking beautiful, you guys. Let me say this about Maria's lips. As much as there are times when I feel like, her lips are big, I also just feel like she has a right. If she feels like she feels good when they look bigger, she has a right to do that. So I don't have a problem with it. I would just talk about it because it's not something that I would do, but it's not like it's a problem. It's her lips after all, you know. But they did look a little bit smaller. So they start with the reunion, of course, by talking about the lack of presence when it comes to Umbali. Where has she been? She gives an answer that I think a lot of us expected, which was the fact that she did have a gig. She was basically saying to the other ladies, listen, ladies, I have other jobs, okay? I am a lady that works at work, okay? So she was like, listen, I was working at work. I had another gig that I was shooting, and I'm one of the main characters. She had to bring that in. So, and she said that she had expressed to the other ladies, listen, I'm not going to be able to show up for everything because I do have other jobs. So my player was like, so are we the part-time job then? That was a good question, obviously, because I feel like for us who really love the show, who invest a lot of time in watching the show, and I feel like we want to feel like the cast member is serious about the show and they love the show just as much as we love the show. We like having people that love doing the show. So I felt like it was important to get that from her. Uguti, okay, are you just doing this as like a part-time thing, but there's other things that are important? She did express that no, it's not the case. It's not like this was not important, but she had said in the beginning which she was not going to show up for everything. Obviously, she asked the newbies how they thought the season was it what they expected. I think all of them said that it was what they expected, and Maria was like, listen, I'm here, my lips are here. Because I think she was making sure that they do address the lips thing, because of course Noko had said a lot about her lips, which honestly was crazy, because she went and did the same thing that Maria did. And also Jojo had mentioned something about her lips. So I do feel like, she was making sure that that is mentioned, because she wanted it to be talked about moving forward. But everybody else said that I think Usli said that it met her expectations and went beyond that. I don't know what that means. Why did it go beyond that, in a sense that it was good or it was bad? Because Mdletshe didn't ask that. I wish that he had. Okay, so obviously you guys, they start dealing with friendships. Okay, it did feel at points, especially at the beginning of the reunion, that Mdletshe was jumping around from issue to issue, but I think it worked for him at the end, but I liked a reunion when you take it back, like almost like, let's go back and see what happened from the beginning of the season, and you move forward with the issues and towards the end of the season. He didn't necessarily do that. I think he was just doing, I think maybe in his agenda he had like, we're going to deal with this issue and deal with this issue and deal with this issue, regardless of when the issue happened. So the sequence of the events, as he is talking about the events, is not in the way that they happened on the show. I would have loved to see it that way, but he did not do it that way. Nonetheless, you guys, I still feel like it worked, you guys. So he starts talking about the forming of the friendship between Usli and Sorisha, and how the other ladies didn't like that. And he's asking Usli, which I also thought that is not the person to ask as to why the other ladies had a problem with Usli and Sorisha's friendship. And Usli does say the people that will have to answer why they didn't like the friendship is the people that didn't like the friendship, Usli goes on to say, Yena, she felt like the person that had brought her to the show didn't like her, didn't want to hang out with her. So she had to find someone else. And Sorisha was right there, willing to hang out with her, willing to be her friend. Jojo and Noko expressed that, listen, everybody has a right to become friends with whoever it is that they want to become friends with. I hate that Mdletshe didn't go into giving us a background, or allowing them to give us a background to their friendship, Noko and Usli, because I really want to find out. I do kind of feel like they were friendly with each other before the show, but I just want to see how deep the friendship was before they started the show. Were they really like real friends before that? However, you guys, we did not deal with the issue of Noko talking about sleeping broke to the other ladies. So maybe when he addresses that issue, he will go back and maybe allow them to give a background on their friendship. Okay, so he does ask some Twitter questions when it comes to the friendship. Kasli, no, Sorisha. Obviously, there are people that feel like a friendship, but it's genuine. But there are definitely people that feel like Usli just wanted to hang out with Sorisha, because obviously, Jojo didn't want to hang out with her, and she was desperate for that friendship to work. Okay, and he does ask, like I say, you guys, he was kind of all over the place in him talking about the friendship, Kasli and Sorisha. Then he asked Usli about her parenting style that she had compared to Noko's parenting style. Okay, I do feel like Usli deserves a segment where she explains fully what was happening with her and her marriage that ended, what happened with the kids, and then moving on to the relationship that she had told us about that had just ended. And that whole situation just deserved a segment on its own. And I did feel like in him just asking him about him asking her about just the parenting parts, and it didn't give us the full picture still, because Usli does say, listen, I was in a marriage, I got a divorce. The best place for my kids to be at that point was to be with their father. And I wasn't about to move my kids because we got a divorce. So I didn't live with them. Of course, I missed taking them to school. I didn't go to some meetings in the school. There are things that I missed because I wasn't the parent that had the custody, not in a formal way, isn't granted by court. I think they had decided. So, but I would see my kids every week and every other week. When she said that, Noko made a face. And I feel like Noko knows something about that. I do feel like Usli now is slide back to what the information that she gives us, because initially she did say she was not there for her kids. She gave up, she left her kids behind to be with this man, you guys. And I do feel like as much as she wants us to believe that she saw her kids every weekend or every other weekend, I don't think that she did. There's something that makes me feel like she didn't. But of course, she had backlash from revealing that information, that she wasn't there for her kids. Because even if you don't live with your kids, you could still go to a parents' meeting at school. You can you can still attend your child's performance at school. So I feel like now, feel a backlash. Now she's trying to make it a little bit lighter than it was in the beginning when she told us. And also Noko did make a face. It might be an edit thing. They just took Ubusobuka Noko and reacted to something else and they put it here. I don't know, you guys, but she did make a face when Usli was saying that she was seeing her kids every weekend. Okay. Now they do talk about the new Sorisha. Uguti, how come now we get the new Sorisha that we didn't get previously? And she does admit, you guys, that it does come from that confrontation that they had with Annie, which was Annie was not happy with the fact that Sorisha was not standing up for herself, and she felt like, you know what, Annie feels like Sorisha has always been the Sorisha that we are seeing this season, in season 3, but she just was making a decision to be nice to people, and she felt like it was to her detriment that she wasn't taking a stand with certain issues. So this season, according to Sorisha no Annie, this season, this was not new Sorisha. This was just a real Sorisha that Sorisha has been hiding for the last 2 seasons. Mdletshe does say to Sorisha, so basically you have been lying to us for the last 2 seasons. I don't know why sometimes he asks questions and then moves forward without getting the answer. Or it's more of Mdletshe just making a statement, because I kind of wanted to hear the response to Sorisha when he said, so you've been lying to us for the last 2 seasons. I wanted to hear what she would say, but he said that and immediately moved forward to the next question. That could be an edit too, but I also don't understand why they would edit the answer to a question out but not edit the question out. Okay, so I wanted to hear Sorisha, okay, is this the real you or not? But from what they had discussed before he asked that question, I got the impression that they are trying to say that that was the real Sorisha, that was the real Sorisha that we were getting this season. In the previous seasons, she just was holding back, okay, and not standing up for herself. Okay. And then Noko does make a comment to say, but we have to note that the change in Sorisha only happened initially relating to me, because remember, we saw the first time we saw the new Sorisha was when Sorisha was confronting Noko, saying, Noko, you have to speak to Annie about the issue that I said you must speak to her about. Okay. Noko is clear to say she feels like Sorisha was starting fire. So basically she is saying that Sorisha was being messy. Okay, now Sorisha has no regrets this reunion, you guys. She doesn't look like she has any regrets by how she was this season. She feels like, okay, fine, people might not have liked me, but this is me. You didn't like the nice me, and I gave you the other side. Take it or leave it. Okay, so she's not apologetic to the viewers. She's not apologetic to the fellow cast members. She was not apologetic to Mdletshe. I like that. I like that you can say, listen, this is what you got this season. What do you want? Okay, what questions do you have? I will answer, but I will not apologize for who I was in the season. Mdletshe does go into talking about the friendship Noko and saying what has been the problem, because those are the 2 people. They are the OGs. They were there from the beginning, and it seemed like at the beginning or last season, it seemed like the OGs were clicking together, but Noko, specifically Noko no Annie, have always had an issue just connecting. And I like that Mdletshe went back to say, it looks like Annie had an issue with what happened in seasons 1 reunion with Ayanda, okay? Because I feel like Vele, that's where Noko drew, Annie drew a line and be like, listen, Noko is not the type of person that I want to hang out with. Why would you do that to another woman? For those who did not watch season 1 or those who have forgotten, in season 1, Noko was in the show with Ayanda Sfisongwane's wife, the late Sfisongwane, and Noko is the baby mama. You know, at the reunion, she brought her mother to confront Ayanda and say that Ayanda needed to pay damages. Wake wezwa apha nje kuhlawula unkosikazi womuntu nonkosikazi womuntu nomuntu lo osashona engahlawulanga. So they wanted inhlawulo from Ayanda, and it was a sensitive thing because she was still dealing with the fact that her husband had passed Ayanda, but not only that, she had recently lost her mother, and Noko brought her mother. Can you imagine? You just lost her mother and someone comes and confronts you with their own mother. It's like, is it because I don't have my mother anymore? It was just an insensitive thing that happened at the reunion, to a point where I did not even understand why the producers allowed that to happen to Ayanda. The other women felt like Noko was wrong, and Noko was just sitting there not even touched by how Ayanda was crying at the reunion. And after the reunion, Annie was done with Noko. She felt like, that is not something you should have done to another woman. So, and it does admit, yes, that thing that did affect me, and it did affect the way that I felt about Noko, and so it affected my, me moving forward with him. And Mdletshe say, but people change, over time. People change. Have you given her a chance to change? No, and it's like, yeah, people change, but sometimes if you don't see the change in somebody, she does not feel like Noko has shown that she has changed, and so that's why the friendship hasn't changed. They do speak about the food tech. Like I say, you guys, if there's anything to criticize about my play, was the fact that he was jumping from one issue to another and not even following the sequence to which the issues happened. And it might have been a strategy. At points, it wasn't really working for me because I liked him. I was like, play. I was like, hey, let me be positive here. But I was like, hey, because the next thing he talks about the food tech that was, legendary. Guys, I want a t-shirt written for tech. I want a t-shirt written Kimang Londi. And I want a t-shirt written You Are Paparing. I wanted. So they were just talking about the food tech. Also, Sorisha says, actually, I did not say the food tech loud. It was just that, I said it under my breath. But my place like, but you were mic'd, So they are mic'd. I believe what ama mics are somewhere here, obviously to get umgos. So it just so happened that she said food tech, and the mic got it, and obviously they didn't edit it out because they would never do that. So then she says, no man, but ufutek is not a swear word, okay? Guys, listen, I've never even taken the time to understand ufutek ukuthi ushukuthini. Thina ufutek nje ufutek inhlamba leyo ngokwesiZulu. Inhlamba nje. Mangithi ufutek ngithi nje, F off. And Mdletshe says, no, but futek actually means go away, which is F off, well. Because you never say futek when you're being nice, okay? And I think that was just making it, And so Noko says she was offended by the futek because the futek we said Noko was making it sound really like serious futek, whereas Sorisha is like, listen, if ufutek ushiwe enjeni mina ngikusho ngisho enjeni zami, which made the situation worse because it's like Sorisha means ukuthi laba I said futek kubona yilwane or whatever. Anyway, so like I said, guys, Sorisha was not apologetic, okay? So no matter what you were saying in this reunion, she was not going to say sorry to you. She's just like, after Noko explains, for me, we used to say futek to the dogs, and so when somebody says futek, I just think ngumgodoi, and then Lapu Sorisha doesn't even know what mgodoi is. Sorisha just, after that, Sorisha just sat there like looking beautiful, displaying Uncle Vivian's assets there. She just said there because she was like, okay. So the full text story just ended there. And then George is like, but that's bullying. Hey, I'm tired of Jojo and the word bullying. That is such bullying. No, it's not bullying. It's just them explaining the full text thing. They understand it differently. And I got that they understood it differently. But that's something that these women don't do. Like, they don't apologize. Sometimes you hurt somebody's feelings, but that wasn't your intention, and you were not meaning to. You were just, maybe sometimes you say something not even directing to the person, but the person on the side gets hurt, and then they come to you and they say, I was hurt by what you said. Sometimes you just say, oh, you were, I didn't mean to say to you, I was saying to the other person, but if your feelings are hurt, I'm really sorry, that wasn't my intention. Sometimes you say that. These women don't do that, okay? Apologies in Real Housewives of Durban are very, very limited, okay? So Sorisha was just like, listen, let me sit here and show the assets of the Uncle Viv, and I am not apologizing, and she did not, okay? And Jojo tried to act and be like, these women are bullying, and Sorisha was like, okay. It's just like, I was like, I said futek mina futek kwami angibushe ezinjeni zami, so I was just saying get away. And then Noko is like, it means something else. But I agree with Noko in a sense that for us, mawuthi futek vele uthuka izinjani futek, And then they get into Noko and the celibacy that ended before the 12 months, but she insists. Because, of course, Raf Diamond arrived before the 12 months was over, but she agrees that no celibacy. She did keep it to 12 months, but it's just that when she did the party, she had already lost the second virginity. So at the celibacy part, she was no longer celibate at the celibacy part, but she said that she did keep it for 12 months. Now they start talking about Raf Diamond. Here's the thing, you guys, because Noko did end up crying here, and I have to admit, okay, I did cry with her, but at the same time I was crying of irritation. I'm irritated with Noko because I was like, Noko, everybody and their mother and their father and their stepfather and their neighbors and their dogs and their chickens told you this was not a good man. Everybody was saying this is not a good man for you, okay? Except for Jojo. Everybody was telling you this is not a good man for you. This is not a good man to bring to your kids. Here is a record. Here is the arrest record, okay? He was arrested for this crime. This man is not... There were women saying to you online, Nonku, he owes me 25,000 of my money. He's always coming to me borrowing money. There was so much information to show you this guy was not a good guy, and you said that he was a good guy. Now we are sitting here at the reunion crying about... I was like, I can't believe I'm crying about Raf Diamond. Yeah, I was crying about Raf Diamond. I was like, yay, Nonko. I just feel like that, you guys. I was crying. It really hurt my heart that she's hurt, because really one thing I wanted for Nonko was to find love. But I was like, but if you're going to find love from RD, the guy that everybody knows is not good for you, and they are telling you that, and you still move forward. Now we are sitting here crying about this guy. I was irritated, honestly. She does not want to talk about RD, you guys, which is unfair, because the whole story took place on the show. You brought a guy on the show. Uncle Vivian has never done Amalokuzana. Diary sessions, but you made sure that RD had a diary session, and then you're going to come at the reunion and be like, I can't talk about RD, it's a legal matter. No, it's a Mjolo matter, and we want to know about it, okay? So it wasn't fair that she wasn't wanting to answer the question. She does say that they've broken up for 3 months. Jojo said no. It's been 2 months since they broke up. She starts crying, but she says emotional. She's not ready to talk about it. Listen, she should have gone for counseling to be ready to talk about it. That is the story that we needed to hear about. We want the details. Where did you meet the guy and whatever? Did he scam you? How much did he take? Did he really take your tender? And did he take your money and go build a home in the rural like they say he did? We wanted to know, okay? I felt like I was crying because she is so hurt. I was crying with her, but I was like, but I still want to hear. Where is he? Where is he? Did he really take your money? Okay, guys, it sounds like from her reaction that, everything that most of the things we're reading online are true. He did scam her. They have a legal issue, which means that Noko might possibly be suing him. And yes, he did swing her. Just like we said, there were people in my comment section going, Ntando, if he's gone to prison, he has changed now, give him a chance. Guys, never give a guy that has been arrested or convicted of an R a chance. Just don't. Be safe. Be safe. Just be safe and just don't do it. Okay. Don't do it. Anyway, you guys, he talks about red flags Mdletshe that the other ladies might have seen, and nobody does say the reason that she thought that it wasn't a good idea to introduce him to the kids was the fact that Noko herself had said that the guy had been in prison. So obviously her alarm bells went off at that point that this might not be the right guy, the good guy. Anyway, there is a conversation, you guys, that they showed where Maria is talking to Sorisha, which I never saw on the show. They might be showing us something that was edited out. I don't remember that scene, honestly. Maria had told Sorisha that everybody's talking about Dumsani being a Tinder swindler, and all the information that was online. And Sorisha had no idea at the time that was being talked about. Okay, so it looked like the women knew the stories that were online about this guy. Okay, and yes, you guys, Noko is hurt by the situation, obviously feeling like she will never find love. She doesn't think that she's gonna try again. And I don't know, you guys. I don't know. It's hard for me to feel sorry for her, honestly. I feel bad that she's hurt, but it's hard for me to feel sorry for her because she was told by so many people that this was not the right guy, and also her introducing that guy to her teen daughter. Really, honestly, that was a horrible decision. Anyway, Jojo says, because they do ask you what did you see in RD that other people are not seeing? She says it's not what she saw, which made sense, you guys. She says it's not what she saw in RD, it's what she saw in Noko. She saw her friend happy, and she was like, if you happy, my friend, I'm happy with you too. Okay, and yeah, but guys, Noko was swindled out of money, emotionally, everything, financially, everything. Okay, but I do feel like even though it is something that is in court, she should have answered some question. I want to know about that car. Did he really buy that car, or did you just buy yourself a car, girl? Did you really think he was rich? What did he do that made you feel like he was rich? And how did you find out that he's not who he is saying he is? We need answers. Okay, we need answers, because you were the one that was busy asking Lassie here about the ex-president. She said Google her. You Googled her, you came back with the questions, and you asked her, you must answer. Noko must answer the questions. Anyway, you guys, now Ruan and Sane came, okay? And initially, I was like, Ruan, why are you here? But we needed Ruan, okay? Because now we get to understand what is the big deal with Maria and Ruan. Okay, siyaza kusane, okay? Again, nime kancane ngosane. Did you know that Maria and Ruan have been friends for 6 to 7 years? Did you know that? And did you know that Ruan did some interview with the ladies? It's here on YouTube before he came onto the show, almost interviewing the ladies and also initiating that thing of which he wanted to be part of the show. He wanted to be somebody's husband. Did you know that? He wanted to be Sorisha's husband. Did you know that? Did you know? Yes. So basically, Maria no Ruan were two friends that wanted to get on the show. They were not sure if they were going to be allowed to get on the show, both of them. But it looks like Ruan was willing to give up the friendship to get on the show. As much as it looks like Ruan doesn't care much about the show and he is accidentally on the show, Ruan wanted to be on the show just as much as Maria wanted to be on the show. In fact, now it makes sense that he abandons Maria for George, because obviously he's assessing here, hey, who is the famous one? Who is the fun one? Which one do I have more chance of being called back on the show if I'm friends with? He chooses George, you know. Maria says he chose TikTok over their friendship. So basically, when we see Maria walk out of the reunion, it's because of that. Because she is hurt by the fact that, because Ruan said he was friends with, I don't know what the pronouns is Ruan is, so he will forget me. I will just say he. He says that he was friends with Maria, but Maria was more like a mother-son friendship, and Ujojo is more like, you know, fun relationship. So he chose fun, but it's like you're choosing 2 years of fun versus, you know, 6 years of mother. And then out of the anger now, Maria calls Ruan a dildo. Now I'm like, got the now Maria. Now you're making things worse. And she never apologized. I thought she was going to come back and apologize. But her walking out was walking out because she's hurt about the friendship. And she cried. I feel like the tears were genuine, you guys. These women can cry fake tears. And Jojo is one of those people that is very good with fake tears. But I feel like she is hurt by the friendship. Yeah, she says, listen, you have been at my house. You have eaten my food. You know, the food I cook for my family, you have eaten it. And you are going to come here and say you are choosing the TikTok lady over me. Because obviously they do TikToks together. Basically, Ruan met with Jojo so that he could get on the show. But he was already friends with Maria. So I was looking at Ruan like, hey, she's holding up. So the innocent Ruan is not so innocent, you guys. No, not by the stretch of your imagination, the big imagination that you have. No, he's not innocent in this. Neither is Ulokuzana, Maria, okay? They do talk about Maria's friendship with Sorisha, what the beef was really in the beginning. She says she just didn't feel like Sorisha was welcoming to her, okay? And also on top of that, Jojo had told her things about Sorisha, okay? And then Jojo is like, that is funny because I was also told some things about things that you had said about Sorisha, okay? I do feel like Maria is telling the truth in saying Jojo had told her things about Sorisha, because instead of Jojo saying, I did not say that, that's it, I did not say that, you are lying, she defends herself by saying, but you also said things about Sorisha. And I'm like, oh, so you guys talked about Sorisha. The truth is you talked about Sorisha, okay? Anyway, you guys, I think that honestly, because when Maria walked out, Sorisha just does try to explain to Ruan, you basically here you are giving up a friendship of 7 years, you know, for somebody that you have just met. You could have found a way to make both the friendships work, you know, because Maria said that she was willing to work on your friendship. She didn't necessarily want you to dump Jojo, you know. And I think Ruan was thinking about it. But Jojo, while he is trying to think about it, Jojo is like, but mina ngikaze ngikubize ngedildo. Guys, she's like, I'm like, I feel like Jojo doesn't want Ruan to make up with Maria, you know, and that's going to be a hindrance in them trying to work on their friendship. But yes, you guys, so that's why Maria was walking out. It did not feel like really at the end of the day, Lorna, Maria and Sorisha are really going to have issues moving forward. But I think that if I hear that a friend of mine was talking about me at some point, maybe I would have just a sit down to say, listen, what was that about? Maybe after the reunion, I don't know, you guys. So then now they are talking about the introduction of the bomb that was Usane this season, okay? And so remember, it was episode 2, when Sane came in Sorisha's event. She sits down, the other ladies, they interact, boom, you know, boom, 4:10, boom. You're dealing in. Basically, that's what happened. This was 4:10, boom. Anyway, you guys, so this is what Usane explains the situation. She says She had an issue with this Lee that time because when they were outside, it was the three of them standing outside. So these ladies were all lying to us saying they don't know Sane. They had met her outside. They go in like they don't know. Who is this? They already know she was coming. They already know she was going to do the show. But they wanted to pretend. Okay. When they were outside, she said there were three of them. Slee came and greeted the two people that she was with and didn't greet her. So by the time she went inside, she was having an attitude against Slee. So that's what that thing was about the chef versus the catering and all of that. Jojo says, I just saw the opportunity again. I'm not being like stupid and got in there with Slee because I felt validated that she was classing Usane. Okay, basically, what Ndabengezona is like. Now, because at the beginning, Usane did act like uzokhuluma sign language. I guess it was an indication that, listen, you're not going to get much out of me, okay? I had very low expectations of Usane, this reunion, in terms of her just getting to the issues, expressing herself, you know, taking accountability, taking responsibility. I had very low expectations because I haven't seen her do it that this season. She has not done it at all. So I was like, she's not going to do it at the reunion, you know. So for me, I know that people are saying that they were irritated with her, and I understand why. I wasn't, because I wasn't expecting that she was going to do that. I don't feel like she's a good communicator at all, you know, and she likes denying things. And it does frustrate me because I really do want her to still stay on the show because I like her for the show. I like her presence on the show. But I didn't expect that she was going to answer. I didn't expect that she would give explanation. I didn't expect that she was going to give accountability. But I would have been pleasantly surprised had she done that. I really would have been pleasantly surprised if she did that, but she didn't. She was like, no. Nah. Anyway, they asked her about attacking Londi. She was like, I did not attack Londi. Okay. But then they asked her, what was the issue with Londi? She says she came in, she sat down. Obviously, when they were talking with... Who was Londi talking to? Was Londi talking to Annie? Yeah, I think she was talking to Annie. I can't remember. Oh, George. I can't remember. Anyway, she says, when Londi was saying, no, I can't talk about my issues while she's here. Umkhombe kanje ke sisa ingane bendelana nje umuntu mase khomba kanje hayi sekuyaliwa ke lapho ngokuthi usane nje it took her back. How old is Sane, by the way? She looks young. It took her back, you know, ukuthi wamkhomba kanje, and then as my blessings, here's the platform, Kesane, do what you need to do, basically saying give Londi London an apology. She says, listen, yobe utheni ngesiZulu ayidlishiyela kodwa kuLondi is umZulu, she will get it, okay? She says ayidlishiyele kodwa ke there is nothing that I said that was a lie, you know. Even that she says it almost under her breath, because I'm like, if that's what you want to say, and say, listen, I'm not apologizing here, everything I said was true and I said it because of what she said or what she did. Say that, just openly say that, like, you know, get it out and be like, I'm not apologizing. I said it and I was right because everything that I said, Vela, she did break up. Vela gasa drive a Range Rover. Vela gasa kwazi ukuhlala eThekwini because Vela, the daughter is gone. You know, say that, you know. She said like, yeah, everything I said was true. Okay. She's like, anyway, do you want to apologize? He's like, you know, it depends on, do you think she will take your apology? She's like, you know what, it's up to her whether she takes an apology or not, okay? And at that time I was starting to feel like, why is Ruan still there? But that's when they started talking about the Sorisha, the Maria issue, and then of course then they started talking about Maria. Guys, listen, Maria is hurt, but I also feel like the dildo comment was inappropriate, and I do feel like she will need to apologize to Ruan for that because that wasn't really nice, okay? Maria keeps making this comment about Jojo's intelligence, okay? That they keep making comments about her lips, but she questions their intelligence, meaning Noko, not George, okay? So now they're going to talking about the fact that when Maria is back, the fact that she was body shamed by the group, and then Jojo defends herself by saying, but she also talks about my intelligence. But Maria is like, but I've never spoken about your intelligence until now. But you have spoken about my lips before. Ujojo doesn't seem to have, like, I feel like this thing that Maria is saying about intelligence, really, it is relevant because Ujojo doesn't show very much intelligence. Like, Ujojo nju lunch, you know, like, I see it deep, I see footy highs, nje siba lunch, you know, impilila. You know, like, you know, happy la. Like, so I feel like angazi singachaza kanjani. Kona lokho ukuthi she says she talked about Maria's lips because Maria was talking about her intelligence, but intelligence yakhe was spoken about here. Okay. Noko says ukuthi Maria has never liked her, and also because they were talking about the Bosch, the comment that they were saying. And she says, Maria talks about our intelligence and they are not so intelligent. Which the argument today didn't make sense when it came to them coming for Maria. It was either they apologized to Maria or they justify why they came for Maria's lips when now their lips look like, you know, they could use some fixing. Because now but my lips are they look like they've done something to their lips. So everybody in the couch looks like even any you guys, I think the only person that looks like they might be 100% natural now, I'm not sure now since they've joined this group, is Usli, Usane, maybe Nombali. The others, Jepsen, they look like I definitely any did something. Sorisha, you know, so it's not a group where people should be coming for other people for lip injections, because people are getting injections. It might not be on the lips, but they're getting the injections, okay? And now they did ask Noko, well, now how come you came for Maria, now you go and do the same thing. She says she went to an award-winning doctor and her lips looking proportionate, but they did not look proportionate after you did them. She must have gone and fixed them, because after she did them, they looked horrible. I don't want to lie. They looked worse than Maria's lips. Not at all. So, she went to an award-winning doctor to do the same thing that Maria did. And then she fixed them afterwards. But she won't say because it went horrible and fixed them, because we did see the video online, okay? And she's upset that Maria called her weep, Maria, weed. Maria's like, hi, boy, that was a figure of speech. I understand Maria when she says, "Gune challenge your intelligence, ngali." Ngalela ka Jojo Nonku and Loni kune challenge intelligence, because the weed thing vele was a figure of speech. But the weed ukula prevents the flower from growing. She was saying that. She's like, that's a figure of speech. And she did call Unonku trash though, which I felt like she needed to answer for that. But Mdletshe didn't get that answer, because I wanted Mdletshe to ask Maria, what did you mean by saying Unonku is trash? I wanted that answer, because that was offensive. You can't call somebody trash, okay? But the weird part of it was a figure of speech. It was just a challenge understand that was a figure of speech. Okay. Now we get to the Mabusi vibes, you guys. Mabusi vibe, okay? He asked a very good question to Umbali. When Umbali, I guess first. What was the thing that upset you so much about being called someone who has Mabusi vibes? Mabusi vibes. How did you come to a conclusion that it was dirty, they were looking down on you and all of that? How did you come to that conclusion? Is that how you feel about Mabusi? I was like, perfect. Is that your impression of Mabusi? And then Ubali says, no, that is not an impression of Mabusi. But let's not play here, because we know how these women treated Mabusi. We know how they undermined her. We know that they were looking down on her. So obviously, if they are going to, or even Uhumoto, okay, I like Ugutumbali was watching the show. I love that Umbali was watching the show, because don't do season 7 of a reality show without watching season 1. Don't go back and watch. She said in season 1, Humoto was busy saying Umabusi is going to pull their hair just because she's from Lamontville. So obviously they mean that. They mean, we all know, guys, what they meant by Mabusi. I think we all know, okay? And then they asked Unonku, hey, Unonku, akadlalanga ngathi kanje. Unonku is like, hi bo, Mabusi vibe means you are a hustler, you are an independent woman, but press the wrong button, she will blow. My place like, if only we were kids, we would believe that. She's like, hi bo, Nonku, kahle bo. We all know that it wasn't positive. We all know. And also the fact that the others laughed. Musa Juklalangad. Okay. I felt there that conversation shouldn't have ended there, because I think that Mdletshe should have pressed for Noko to give the one that was right, because she did not mean that Mabusi vibe was all positive, hustler, independent woman. No, she did not mean that. She even says, Noko, like me. Mabusi vibe like me, hustler, independent woman, press the wrong button like me. And then I'm like, huh? So basically, you guys, we all know what Mabusi vibe is. We all know. But we did want to hear it from Nonko, because she uses that term so much, okay? And I feel like she should have given an explanation, but she hasn't. And I think at this point, we should just let go. Those of us who love Mabusi, just love Mabusi and go buy the t-shirts. By the way, she has t-shirts. Go check out her Instagram, WhatsApp her and get the t-shirts. Okay, let's just forget about Noko, because she's never going to own up to this one particular issue. Okay. Now we get to Sane. Saying to Annie slept her way to the top, because at the beginning of the reunion, when they are preparing to go to the reunion, she does make a comment to say, listen, if they ask me about her sleeping to the top, the thing is, there is no top. Guys, like, she's got a point. It's not like Utakoro is like Vivian Reddy, So Utakoro is not really the top. Maybe he is a little bit higher than the bottom that, Annie was dating before him, but he's definitely not the top. So I was like, actually, Sane is right. Takuru is not the top. But, it's not like, and it's not like either. But it's like, yeah, she was like, actually, it wasn't the top. So I expected her to say, okay, then at the real, she's going to be like, girl, why would I say you're slipping your way to the top when you're not even in the top yet? Done. We are done. We would have been like, okay, let's wrap up the reunion. We are done now. Sane has given the explanation. She's like, I don't remember saying that. They play the tape. Obviously, you said it, okay? But this is what she explains. Because in addition to slipping her way to the top, she says, they also show her saying that she was going to tell about how her man was now a para. How her man was a para in the street. Sane says actually she was referring to an ex of N. And when they are having an exchange between the two, Sane is like, the person you were dating before Dakoro. She's like, no, I don't know Dakoro, but I know the person you were dating before Dakoro. And then N is like, which person? Is like, their person. And then you can see it click. N. You can see it go, oh, she means my para. She's like, oh, she means my para. And then guys, you must watch body language with these women, because immediately she I need to call us, which one? Do you know my husband? She's like, no, not your husband, the one you dated before your husband. Yeah, and then she's like, the guy I dated. Usane is like, yes. And then you can see it click, and you can see her go back, because she's like, oh, I don't want to go there. She's like, I don't want to go there. Okay. And then Sana's like, that's the para I meant. You used to date a para and you slept your way to somewhat the top. And it ended there. It just ended there, basically, because she wasn't about to get Usane to explain. Okay. And so then my place like, so you guys really know each other from, is it like, yeah, sort of. They definitely do know each other from, Otherwise, Annie will be like, listen, I never dated anyone that you knew. Annie is very intelligent. Annie put things together. I was like, I don't want to talk about the para. Let's end the conversation. And that's how it went, okay? And then they ask her, okay, do you want to apologize to? And she says, listen, I've apologized to any number of times, I'm not gonna do it again. And then they're like, but if you insult someone in public, you must also apologize in private. She's like, but I accept the apology, so why should I do it? So it ended there because she won't apologize. Oh yes, on top of the para thing, there's a comment that she says that was racist. Guys, I do agree that that comment is racist. Okay. And I do take ukuthi izinto ekanjalo sometimes asizicabangisi ukuthi they might be racist or tribalists or whatever. It's like nje mangisejobheka vela nginyathela umuntu athi umuntu ayi uyabona ke lo mZulu waseNatal, you know, into kanjalo. Uyabona, except ukuthi ke mina ngeke ngasho ngizwa ngoba uyazi ukuthi ngomZulu angithi uzobasaba vele uzothi hayi kodwa uMzulu wasebuka ke lo mZulu waseNatal, you know. Because it's not on Real Housewives, they won't take a chance, you know. They won't take a chance with Zulu. But it's something like that, you guys, which sometimes we don't really realize that it can be offensive. And I think it's opportunity for women to learn because they can't make such comments, you know. Like or whatever, you know. They have to refrain from such. And I think that honestly, you guys, it would have made such a big difference if she just apologized, but she refused. Okay, she refused. Not doing it. Anyway, you guys, that was part one. I thoroughly enjoyed this show. The criticism that I have for this part of the reunion, guys, it's natural that you have things that you're gonna like about it, there's things that you're not gonna like about it, but I'm not as frustrated as I was last time when we watched the reunion with it's even forgettable, you know. So I wasn't feeling like that. I was feeling like, it's a good show. Like my Blair, guys, I need to find my Blair. Send her an Instagram and say thank you, brother. Okay, just a thank you. You know, do it again. Okay, do it to others because I thoroughly did enjoy the show. There is, like I said, there's a lot of pressure that it comes with a part 2 of the reunion because, of course, guys, we haven't touched on the fact that Noko talked about Umbali. We haven't touched on the fact that Noko talked about Usli. We haven't talked at all about things that have come out online about these women after the show was done. And we also haven't talked about Bube saying something to Sli. You remember the whole thing that we watched was episode that she had said she's single and ready to mingle. We haven't talked about. So there's a lot to cover. So there's a lot of pressure for part 2. But I'm trusting that my Blair has got us. Okay, are you trusting that my Blair has got us? Can we relax now? Have we found our host? Have we found our resident host? Because I feel like I'm okay with him. Okay, he can improve, but I'm okay with him. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please definitely like it before Pumagona. There is a thanks button. I've spent an hour reviewing a show for you. Okay, anyway, thank you so much. Please like the video before Pumagona. Share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Ntanda kakulu.